Welcome to the Investing Bros. I am T Shroom, and I'm really excited to bring you the news for today in crypto. We're going to be talking about what matters for your portfolio. Usually I have a much longer intro, guys, but I feel obligated to show you guys something that sucks. This is really, really important, though. I want to get it out there as quickly as I can. That is this: Sushi hit by front-end exploit compromising ledger-linked kit endangers other DeFi protocols. So this sucks. This sucks a lot. I don't know if there have been a tally yet of how much money, how many funds, how much coins have been lost by users or even by Sushi themselves. But when there's an exploit found, somebody put that exploit there, or somebody has been using that exploit, has been exploiting the exploit, so to speak. So I don't know how much money has been drained, if there has been any at all. But just be very careful with using Sushi Swap. In fact, they even recommend not using Sushi Swap at all today. Says if you have a Sushi page open and see unexpected connect wallet pop-ups, do not interact or connect your wallet. So guys, so there's this one, and that doesn't stop there. Hate to be Mr. Fear today, but revoke.cash, you've probably not seen this one, but this is essentially if you enter into a transaction on a decentralized wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet that you didn't mean to, that you authorize a transaction that you didn't fully understand what you were doing, and it turns out to be a scam, you can actually go and revoke that using this tool, which would be great. But now they have identified a vulnerability. Multiple popular crypto applications that integrate with Ledger's ConnectKit library, including revoke.cash, have been compromised. We temporarily took the website offline. As we're investigating further, we recommend not using any crypto website at all while this exploit is ongoing. Any crypto website. Okay. I'm not sure if that means in conjunction with revoke.cash, but I am going to go ahead and issue the warning here as an investing bro. Just don't do anything today in the decentralized world. Unfortunately, there seems to be a big uptick in hacks and scams, and just definitely don't authorize any transactions that you are not planning on authorizing. If something pops up, God forbid, do not click it. Definitely don't authorize it. This might be a good day to just kind of shut everything down and just watch YouTube, right? And just kind of kick back, maybe even go for a walk, or just focus on that report that you have due before Christmas, right? This sucks. This happens. Why is this happening now? Of course, I don't know exactly, but a lot of people are making more money, right? These digital assets are worth more money right now. In some cases, hundreds of percentage more than they were just a month ago, right? So it would make sense that all of the vulnerabilities, right, that have been sniffed out by hackers and scammers, they wouldn't try to put those into action 2-3 months ago while these digital assets were in a depression. No, they were going to do them now. And hopefully, companies like MetaMask and these revoke websites and the blockchain operators in general will be able to bounce back from this very strongly and figure out what those vulnerabilities are and patch them up. But for today, I want all my bros to stay safe. If you were planning on doing a whole bunch of transactions and sending money from wallets to another, I just wouldn't do it today, right? I would wait a couple days, wait for the quote unquote all clear. I will attempt to try to sound that all clear, but I don't think it's really my call. I would be just looking at, Trust Wallet, MetaMask's website, Twitter accounts, and things like that. So I will do my best though to bring you updates on this. This isn't a disaster, I wouldn't say. It seems like it's mostly isolated to a few websites. It's not like there's some kind of crazy contagion spreading or like anything like that. But in the Wild West industry that we are in, crypto, we are seeing an uptick in hackers and scammers because people have more money, and the money they have is worth more. Right. So we're going to move on. It is a little bit scary, guys, but we're going to move on. We're going to get into the news. Let me know if you have any questions in the Discord. I will be in the Discord today trying to help you guys out. If you have any issues with MetaMask or anything like that, to get into the Discord, all you got to do is go down here to Free Investing Bros Discord, and you'll have access to the general channels. And then if you wanted to get access to the paid channels, you go to become a member. I'm not saying this is going to be the solution that keeps your crypto protected. I'm saying this is we have a good community of people you can trust to ask questions. Don't share any personal information on there necessarily, but you catch my drift. Let's move into the charts here, guys, because Bitcoin is doing something pretty interesting. I'll go over the charts briefly, and then I'll tell you where you can get a much more in-depth analysis of the charts in just a second. But as you can see here, on the 1 hour, the previous candle actually wicked all the way down to 41,430 on Coinbase Exchange, and that is pretty intense there for Bitcoin. That's a big move. Let's see. From the top of the candle down is about 4% move, right? Almost encompassing this entire range, right? So then now the question is this as low as it's going to go, right? Is this as low as it's going to go for today of trading? Did it test lower and now it wants to move higher, finding support on this dynamic reactor here in the 1 hour, or does it want to go, or does it want to test back lower, right? That's kind of the question that traders will be asking. On the 1 hour, you're seeing Ichimoku fail to break back into the bullish zone and is moving down, putting in a lower low here. So far on this candlestick, you do have a green buy, right? You have a buy rating from Chart Prime on the 1 hour and a green trend assist. So, there's an argument to be made that taking a little risk here could pay off, and purchasing spot long or leverage long with Blowfin or another exchange, something like that could be beneficial. But the MACD lines are pointing down on the 1 hour, and the red histograms are looking really choppy and weird, but they are generally bearish there. That's the 1 hour for Bitcoin. Basically, the moral of the story there is big mystery wick down, penetrating through some levels there. Let's see if there was anything else. Yeah, not really finding any apparent support on any specific indicator here. Maybe we'll find that on the higher time frames. Let's go out to the 4 hour here for Bitcoin. It kind of looks like it could be in line perhaps with this uptrending line of support. Let me draw really quickly here. Yeah, not really though. Maybe the candlesticks themselves. They found a little support there. Yeah, that's probably it. So Bitcoin finding a little bit of support here on the candlesticks, uptrending line of support on the 4 hour at least, and then swiftly getting repriced to the upside quite quickly. That was a 2.5% move on Bitcoin. Very nice. You see the green histograms are rounding over. Could be a sign of a bearish move to come. However, you saw a rolling over back here, and then it promptly came back up. And the MACD lines actually hit a high for for December. It looks like so. It can be done. It can be done. The MACD doesn't necessarily always say that prices have to go down once it starts to round, is the lesson there from that. On the Ichimoku, you're really seeing a lot of diddling in the middle here around the zero line, which means that essentially on the 4 hour Bitcoin is at a decision point, guys. And it really is. So let me kind of paint the picture here at a macro. Let me clean this up really quickly. All right. Let me do this, show you really quickly. So we had a big move up from November 30th, the anniversary of the Investing Bros, 1 year anniversary, 20% move to the upside, right? And then you had some sideways movement, some crab movement, a test lower of the bid line of the Bollinger Band for the 4 hour on Bitcoin, right? But then just generally sideways movement, right? And then a huge sell-off, right? And a big test lower. And this is what we're resuming from. Now, what I don't like to see is a lower high, and that's what we're getting right now, a lower high. However, it hasn't gone to completion. We'll see what happens. You are seeing the Bollinger Bands expand, the upper and lower bands expand, which means volatility is kind of coming in more. It's the opposite of contraction that we saw here, where there was contraction, consolidation in the Bollinger Bands and in the price, and then boom, a big explosion to the downside when those Bollinger Bands signaled widening, right? So we're seeing that right now. So the possibilities are endless for Bitcoin, and hey, it is staying on the bullish side of the midline of the Bollinger Band. So again, overall, kind of like a timid but bullish here, I'd say, on the 4-hour. Yeah, don't know if I would short it here unless it got back down to the 41,300 line. But that's Bitcoin, guys. We've got a lot of news to cover. I want to go ahead and check out Kaspa because there's a pretty exciting update on Kaspa, and the price is not seeming to react very much. I'm here on the 4-hour for Kaspa, and as you can see, things are looking pretty bullish as well, I would say. You've got some good support here. You got a right around 11.115, so right around 11 cents. Kaspa was able to find some pretty good support on the 4-hour MACD, rounding out, kind of like Bitcoin. The histograms are rounding out there, showing maybe a limit to the bullish momentum that we've seen. These histograms, you don't see a lot of resumption higher. This could be a resumption, but it did come back and touch the zero line for the most part. Certainly not seeing a big explosive move with one candlestick eclipsing right the size of the previous one again and again and again before a resumption to the downside for Kaspa's MACD histograms. The MACD lines are coming from below, looking to penetrate that zero line for the MACD. That's pretty bullish, I'd say. And those Bollinger Bands they're starting to expand, but not really too much, I would say. Kaspa, if you'll notice, Kaspa has spent a lot of time below the midline of the Bollinger Band and has recently broken through that. So that's bullish. That is bullish, I'd say. You also got a slightly, I don't know that I would even call that a higher low. I wouldn't. It looks like a equal low from this wick to this wick. So, and then it does look like it's a lower low from these wicks back up, these wicks right here from the 12th, from back in the November 21st. Comparing this low to these wicks, it seems like it's a little bit of a lower low. So that would be bearish. Ichimoku still below the zero line, so that's ultimately bearish. So ultimately, guys, I think that Kaspa has not made the move that it's going to make quite yet. Whether that's going to be to the upside or the downside, I'm not sure, but it's been in this weird consolidation pattern. After I zoom out to, let's say, the daily, you can see after a gigantic explosion, it's kind of what you want to see, though. You could make the argument that that Kaspa probably should have done like a 22% correction back and tested 9 cents, which would have been an excellent entry point. But it's showing strength. It's showing that there's a lot of buyers below, 11, basically 12 cents. Anything below 12 cents, it's getting bought up, especially recently. These candlesticks closed right here, but these wicked, meaning it got bought aggressively as the price for Kaspa got below the bottom line of the Bollinger Band. All right. So overall, I would say this is what you want to see after a big run up from a coin. Is you want to see that sideways consolidation until there's a bullish catalyst. Right. A move lower would signal profit taking, meaning people are just really getting in this to get a quick profit and then dump it. You saw a little bit of that here, right? But for the most part, people who bought up here on this way up, they're wanting to hold it, if that makes sense. So that's my technical analysis on Kaspa. On the 1 day, since we're here, you are seeing those red histograms round off, which is bullish, right? Starting to round back. Now you can see a double dip in the histograms, just like you can see them to the upside. In the green histograms, you can also see them in the red. So there are double dips that can happen. But here, right now, we're seeing it round off, and for now, you'd say that's pretty bullish. MACD lines disagree, but they're adjusting. I don't know that the MACD lines are going to be super relevant to this because of how pronounced this move up was, and so it's really just leveling off more than anything. But this move was insane. In case you're unaware, Kaspa just did a 209% move since back here in November 4th. So in about a month. In about a little more than a month, we saw a 200% move. So I think you can forgive those MACD lines for needing some time to correct. All right. Point's been made here on Kaspa. Let's check in really quickly on Cardano and then Ethereum, and then I'll zoom over to the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get into the stories for today. ADA on the 1 day. is looking good. I mean, it's looking so. I said, what did I say with Caspa? So right, it had Caspa had a move and then it consolidated, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see like a fade to the downside, although that can sometimes produce a bullish flag, which is good, right? But that's what happened with Cardano here, and it broke through, right? So now we're post bullish flag breakthrough, and that's just a new world to live in for Cardano investors, right? Histograms very leveled off, plateauing here. I'd say that that's signaling generally bearish, especially considering this plateau here was higher than the previous high. Doing a little crazy TA there. Look, the Ichimoku signaling very bullish as you're getting a big gravitational pull back to the upside for that Ichimoku indicator. I'm liking that for sure. And of course, the Bollinger Band's expanding, signaling continued potential of volatility. And hey, we're above that midline, so that's bullish. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. We'll round out the TA. Yeah, so this one's a little interesting, right? Because we've spent a lot of time above the midline of the Bollinger Band, just used the midline, the 20-day moving average, which is that midline of the Bollinger Band. We've used that as support here. And it looks like, Ethereum could definitely benefit from a push higher here. Very interesting, very interesting. Let's look at it quickly compared to Bitcoin. Moving very similarly, although Bitcoin's slightly more bullish. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on Ethereum here, but overall, crypto looking strong, right? Continuing to see, even on Ethereum here, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, again and again and again, and also higher highs, right? So it's what you want to see over several months here of trading data. So very good, very good. All right, let's go ahead and cycle over into the chat. And let's see how scared people are of these vulnerabilities in the DeFi ecosystem. Gia S said GM. Red Elephant said GM. Bollinger Band Prince said Eric Wallen. Yes, I do fancy myself a bit of a Bollinger Band snob. And with the help of Tim, I have learned quite a bit about Bollinger Bands, even though I was already the king of Bollinger Bands. Speaking of Tim, I mentioned that you can get some much more in-depth TA, and I will not let you down. Tim has posted a video, and I am getting to it very quickly so that you can know what it is. He did some very in-depth TA today on AVAX. So doing a price prediction for AVAX, 120x could be coming for AVAX. He lays down his argument for that price prediction. Very exciting stuff. I got a chance to watch it this morning. It is live as of 8:30 a.m. So you can go check that out. And our members get access to these Tim's TA videos even earlier. So if you become a member on the channel here, which all you got to do is just go right on in here to the join button and pick the tier of membership that you want, whether it be silver, gold, or diamond, you will get access to be able to connect your Discord to your YouTube, and then everything will be hunky-dory. You'll be able to access those paid channels in the Discord and see all of the trades that we are making, and Tim and I at least, on Blowfin. And Blowfin we'll get to in just a moment, but let's go ahead and read some more of the chat and get into the stories. Dylan Martinez said 69-cent ADA hit, LOL. Yes, very highbrow humor there. Love it. Crypto Mini Bike said GM, Gia. Make sure to TP, Drew. So a good reminder there from Dylan Martinez to take profit. Always a good thing to do in the markets. Rsan246 said, no Ledger wallet for me. Kid Coleman said, not sure who gifted me, but thank you. I believe this was Mr. J yesterday. Mr. J handed out a bunch of Investing Bros memberships, and we can't thank him enough. That's very, very generous of him. And I don't know, it doesn't look like you're watching live, but you'll more than likely watch a little bit later today. Thank you so much, Mr. J, for your generosity in this holiday season. Merry Christmas. Dustin Singer said, good morning, bros. And we got a lot of love down in the chat, and I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. It's been so encouraging in 2023 to see so many people come into this community that Tim and I have built and really just fill it with love, fill it with companionship, and camaraderie. That's the word I was looking for. Not so much companionship, but fill it with all that you would want in an investing community. We've got some people that have made some serious money trading as well, which is really, really good. Tim has been making quite a bit of money leverage trading on Blowfin, and I have been doing quite well myself. I'm actually in a trade right now that I'll tell you guys about here in just a few minutes. It's already posted in the gold tier chat of the Discord. All right, let's go ahead and get into the stories here. Again, in case you're just tuning in, Sushi has been hit with a front-end exploit, and also Revoke.cash has been looks like they've taken it down because of a vulnerability in the integration with Ledger Connect Kit library. So the moral of the story there is be very careful with any kind of transactions that you're doing with MetaMask or Trust Wallet or any kind of wallet today. It seems that hacking is on the rise, scams are on the rise, and so you want to make sure that you do things at the best time. And while it might be the best time for the price for you, it may not be the best time for the vulnerabilities that are out there in the Wild West industry that we so dearly love. Let's get into the stories here. Double Lines Jeffries Gulak says 10-year Treasury yield will fall to 3% next year. This may not mean anything to you if you don't really keep track of the macro, but this would be huge. This would be very, very big. I believe that the 10-year Treasuries right now are rocking out around 4.5% or something like this, 3.9. So basically a whole point would shed from the Treasuries. That would be pretty significant. That would put it, that would put the 10-year Treasuries yields all the way down here, which would be about a 25% shed for the U.S. 10-year Treasury notes. So that's a pretty big move, and that would essentially translate into more money being in equities and kind of freed up for risk assets, right? Because if you think of it, if there's less of an incentive for 401k holders, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, and you and me, if there's less of an incentive to buy U.S. Treasuries, that means there's more money out there floating around to go into Tesla, Bitcoin, Cardano, Apple, Google, Amazon of the world, right? And take risk rather than going into defensive mode by purchasing Treasuries. That's how that works, and that is what this financial analyst is kind of predicting. So that could be bullish for next year for sure. And thoughts on next year are definitely all over because we had that rate pause from the Fed and then dovish rhetoric across the board. And that also was tied in with retail sales rising 0.3 in November versus expectations for a decline. This is fresh data from today. This generally is bullish, right? Bullish for the U.S. economy. And I wanted to get to one more headline here, and this is the Fed pause is a green light for investors. Here's what it means for crypto. Guys, this is our cover story, so make sure you're tracking with this one for sure. A decision from the U.S. Federal Reserve to pause and possibly lower interest rates in 2024 will likely serve as a positive boost for cryptocurrencies and crypto stocks. In December 13th interview with Bloomberg, BlackRock fund Jeffrey Rosenberg described the Fed's rate pause and hint at rate cuts next year as a green light for investors, with the S&P 500 rallying 1.37% on the decision. This bullish sentiment can go on for a while, at least until we get a new round of economic data, and until then, the message is clear. The Fed is more than willing to see an easing in financial conditions, and that speculation alone could put wind in the sails of the market, risk asset market, meaning crypto and stocks. Crypto stocks significantly gained on the back of the announcement too. Shares of Coinbase and MicroStrategies spiking 7.8% and 5% respectively. Goodness, I didn't realize that. Respectively, while Bitcoin miner Marathon Data jumped 12.6%. I did know that one. So it's a perfect storm being described by John Deaton, who I believe is a lawyer over there at XRP. We'll go ahead and skip that take for now. Nothing necessarily bad about that, but I want to get on to, if we see the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity launch Bitcoin ETFs, we can expect a lot of other traditional finance institutions to enter crypto markets as well. Again, so signaling a very big bullish push as we're kind of entering the weekend, exiting this week of trading, kind of everybody sighing a big sigh of relief that the Fed didn't completely shock the market with a hike. Right? Nobody thought that there would be a hike, and we didn't get one. But we also got the added bonus, the bow on top of dovish rhetoric from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. Maybe you've heard of him. So that's going to be the big story there. And, the thumbnail is what it is because the question is, should we buy all this bullishness? Is all this bullishness kind of starting to seep into this big green light, from BlackRock? Is it starting to seep into a narrative of a bull trap, right? That's the question. Is all of this a bull trap? And here's why I don't think it is. Because this is a real fundamental mechanism in the global economy, which is the United States interest rate, right? That is put together by the Fed, and it basically tells the markets green light, red light, or yellow light, right? It's risk on or risk off. And right now, the Fed has just gone through 2022, which was a year of insane 2022 and 2023, insane rate hikes, right? We saw hike after hike after hike, some of them being 75 basis point hikes, right? So the fact that the Fed has paused in the fall of 2023, right, and then started to actually warm up to the thought of cuts, this is real fundamental change in a major mechanism of the global economy. And so I do think that this is bullish and that BlackRock is not trying to pull one over on us here. Yeah, I'm seeing Jen Foster say chirp how, taking a meme over from the Tom Crown ecosystem, which is a lot of fun for sure. Dylan Martinez said, forgot to keep a moon bag. What? How did you forget to get a moon bag? I got in at the last price too, but sold around $4.5 to $5, LOL. I hope you're not talking about Caspa. Not sure what you're talking about there. All right, Josh Denham said, will you and Tim do a Blowfin how-to video? I think that would be a really good idea, actually. How to use Blowfin. That would be really, really smart to do something along those lines. But overall here, guys, we're seeing a little bit of a pivot in an already very bullish market, right? We've got the spot ETF bullishness, wind in our sails. We've got the halving coming up in April. We've also got the 10-year Treasury continuing to move to the downside, peaked up around 5%, right? A lot of 401k holders thought, man, I should really get in there, and they did. They bought up those treasuries at those high yield rates, and now the yield is coming down, right? And we saw some financial analysts that are taken seriously in the space thinking that it could come as low as 3%, which would be another 25% reduction, and that spells more liquidity for risk assets, meaning crypto. All right, let's take a couple more. There's a couple more stories here I wanted to bring to your attention. VeChain ecosystem tokens, VET and VTHO, rally 20% and 43% in a week. So VeChain getting a lot of love here. The VeChain ecosystem is on a bullish trajectory as its primary native token, VeChain VET, and its gas token, VTHOR, recorded 20%, 43% upsurge in a week, respectively. Very, very big numbers there for a chain that a lot of folks have thought is a little dusty, right? It's a little bit of a dusty chain. Well, it's showing that it can shake off that dust and make a move to the upside, just like some of the bigger names like Cardano and Ethereum that have been able to stay in the crypto consciousness, right? And kind of, continue to be talked about. There's a lot of chatter around it. Well, where's VET? Well, it's kind of a quieter blockchain, right? But they're still going, and their prices are moving in the right direction. All right, Caspa. What is the Caspa news here? It is 9:29. We're getting to the Caspa news here. It is to establish more liquidity for Caspa on different chains with smart DEX, Cas BNB, Wrapped BNB, and Cas Wrapped Matic. Farming campaigns and pools have now been deployed on Binance Smart Chain and Polygon. Guys, this is a pretty big deal because this is a big liquidity upgrade for Caspa. This means that this is now a more attractive ecosystem as they are instituting the DeFi end of Caspa and of the block that is going to be taking place here. So the Ghost DAG. It's not a blockchain. It's a Ghost DAG, which is a slightly different type of deal. So there you go. Caspa cryptocurrency. This is from the official account here. APRs will start soon. So I don't think that they have the rewards set up for these farms quite yet, but the farm infrastructure has now been deployed, right? So that's the words they're using. It's very, very good. And they're saying it's going to be an unbeatable ROI. I don't know about that, but very, very bullish again for the Caspa community. And this could go ahead and boost Caspa up to some prices that we haven't seen for in a while, up past 14 cents, right, and on into hopefully what us Caspa holders are hoping for would be $1. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I can't say this enough. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on Caspa and Ethereum and Cardano and many other projects. But we have to also practice safety, risk management, and cybersecurity. And guys, there is a ton of news right now. There seems to be an uptick in scams, right? Especially around decentralized wallets. So make sure you take advantage of that decentralized technology that is in those wallets, doing all the hard work of security for you, and just don't use them today. That would be my full recommendation, because there's probably 99% of the different websites and the different places where you can patch your wallet into are safe, right? But 1% right now is saying that it is not safe. And that's a big percentage, because SushiSwap is a pretty big DEX, right? It's a pretty big ecosystem for decentralized finance. So you want to make sure that you're being very safe, extra careful today. If you were going to make a ton of transactions and do a bunch of moving of coins around to different wallets and to different staking pools and different things like that, I would hold off on that for today, and maybe even for the next few days until the major accounts here from, again, the ones to watch are Revoke.cash and SushiSwap. Okay, so those are the ecosystems right now that are having issues. And so when the all clear is sounded from those, then I think they would have another green light, right, to start commencing movement of coins again. All right. Excellent, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I am T. Shrum. We will be having bro time today because it is Thursday at 3 p.m. on Discord. You can get access to that by joining the membership here on YouTube. Yes, it might be confusing. Join YouTube to get access to Discord. That's how it works today. All of these different softwares, they connect with each other in the beautiful, harmonious world of social media that we live in. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will see you at 3 p.m. if you are in the Investing Bros membership circle, in the membership stream, the bro time. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. as we wrap out the week and see where these prices are going to go into the weekend and into next week. And until then, goodbye.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms News got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.